This is a motivational story for anyone who thinks to themselves, I can't. Kurt Corvin has been running every day for over 23 years, and his wife Leah nearly the same. Kurt grew up winning state cross-country championships in high school and went on to run for the University of Washington and held the UW record for the 10,000 meter for more than 10 years.
About a year and a half ago, I was at a party and I was bragging, I think, because I knew you guys ran, but I didn't know how much. And so I was bragging to you, Kurt, that I had been running every day for about 2 months. And Leah, you chimed in, you said, well, if you're gonna keep up with Kurt, you've gotta go another 20 years plus. And that's when I was just amazed, and we talked a little bit about your story, and I just think it's a really cool story, and we wanna share it. And maybe a good place to start is, how did you come to the decision of just saying, I'm gonna run every day?
For me, it all started when I went to the University of Washington. I was on the track team there.
Yeah.
And one of the guys on the team, a senior, was talking about streaks, and I had no idea what a streak was. So I asked him about it, and he says, well, I was just running every day. And so I thought, well, I looked back and I thought, well, I haven't taken a day off in quite a while. So I went back that night, back home, and I looked at my training logs, and I had like a 2.5-year streak, and I didn't even know it.
Wow.
And so just for me, I just feel better if I go every day. Like I had a friend in high school that the day before meets, he would take that day off and not run at all, and he would feel refreshed and better in the race. That didn't work for me. I felt worse, like a kind of a stale feel. It didn't feel, quite right. So I like to go every day.
And how long have you done it now? What's the streak?
I'm at 23 years, 7 months, and some odd days.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you've gotten your family into it.
Yeah.
So Leah, how long have you been doing it now?
Well, I've had 3 kids, so
Yep.
I've had like a 6-year streak and then a baby, and
Yeah.
then a 2.5-year streak and
Yeah.
a baby. A 3-year streak, I was able to run every day of the pregnancy, but I didn't run the day I delivered. And then I took a month off after, and so we have an 11-year-old, almost 12 in September. So when she turned 1 month old, I started my streak, and so mine is 11 years.
Wow. How many shoes do you guys go through in a year? Because how many miles are you supposed to put on shoes?
Try to keep the shoes at 400 miles.
400 miles.
So we keep track of their miles. She gets a few more miles out of hers than I do.
Yeah, I can get almost, it depends on the shoe. So if I have a shoe that really works well for me, I can get 600 right now.
Oh, wow.
On a shoe.
She doesn't have many miles on her as I do.
Do you keep a shoe graveyard? You just throw them out?
For a little while, then we end up throwing them.
Yeah.
Cruz he's got a shoe
Yeah.
graveyard.
He used to. When I first met him, the first time I came to his house, I went into his garage, and there was this enormous pile of shoes. I was like, oh my gosh, it was huge. Do you remember that?
I do.
It's hard to do anything challenging every day, but it's the day and the night that gives us the finite opportunity. Otherwise, without it, there would be no reason to just put things off for later.
My dad passed away, and I got kind of stressed about it, and so my tonsils started swelling, and so I ended up in the hospital and for 3 days. And that one, I tried to talk the nurse into running with the IV things in the hallway.
Do some laps.
Yeah, she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't play along. I was pretty sick at that time.
Give up, let's be honest.
I begged her. I said, "Come on, I got a streak. I got to get one more in." So I lost that streak, and then I started the other one. I think it was 98. 97 or 98. It would have been 90.
Yeah.
It was 98.
Yeah, 98 on the snowy day.
A snowy day.
Yes.
December 14th. We had snow on the
Yes.
ground that day, so that's when I started it.
Running every day has its ups and downs. Chronic and acute injuries can plague you, making it difficult to keep going.
Even just going out and getting a slow pace in or a walk in, you get some of the soreness worked out, you get your shoes worn in,
exactly.
where you're not getting the blisters anymore.
Yeah, some people don't realize that you got to keep working. If you get sore, you're going to work it out a lot faster if you keep running or walking, keep using it, as opposed to sitting back in the easy chair and kicking back.
Right, because then you're just sore again the next time.
Yeah, exactly. And then the sore, it never works its way out.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I would do a hard workout in the morning, and then later on that night I might go out for a little shakeout 3-mile run, just so I didn't feel bad the next day.
Yeah.
Get the soreness out that way. So yeah, you have to keep using it. You got those muscles, you got to keep using them.
I think just realizing too that it gets better. It hurts at first. It's hard.
It is.
Like I remember running for the first time after having cruise. It was horrible. My lungs were burning. My legs felt like jello. But it just in 1 minute of running, and I'd been running a lot before that. But 1 minute of running was so painful just to get through a minute. That it gets better. You just have to keep going, and it gets better.
Yeah, the body is amazing at bouncing back after something like that.
Or just even doing something the first time. It always gets better. You just have to hang in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think morning's the best.
Yeah.
And you don't know, you may have friends stop by, and then you're looking at your watch, and it's like 11:45 now. I got to get my run in. Sorry guys, I got to go out.
You're starting back up again. You have to remember, you have to start slow every single time.
Yeah.
And that's where that injury happens, is when you think you are where you left off, and you're not. So that was really good.
It's surprising how fast you can lose it.
Well, really, it's gonna hurt.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
That I noticed that as well when I had started running again, is that I couldn't find the consistency. So I'd run for 3 days in a week, then I'd run 5, then I'd run 0, and then I'd pick it back up again. And I just got so frustrated because and I would do the whole wait till I was running at the end of the day. So I would wait, and then the end of the day comes and you can think of 1,000 things that you can do besides going out. Like there's all these tasks, and there's work things, and there's stuff to do at home, and so
Errands to run.
yeah, it wasn't until I said, okay, enough. And I think I had saw it online. People were posting about they run every day, and I thought, oh, I'll try it and just see, because then there's no excuse, because you promised yourself you were going to do it today, and so you take the excuse out of it. And then I also found doing it in the morning was easier for me than at night, because by nighttime it's just a pain. Like I got to get it in. Where in the morning, that's the first thing I do. I get up early, I do a quick little workout upstairs, and I mean my family's still in bed, and it's quiet, and I just put my shoes on and go. Better things to do.
Another thing too is your stomach's empty. Like if you run at night, you might have dinner, and then that complicates things. If your stomach's, it doesn't always feel good to run when your stomach's full or you're digesting. So it's another good reason to do it in the morning.
You don't recommend having a couple martinis before you run?
No, but it does help with it does help with hangovers. Another nice thing is with running you don't need a club membership or a gym membership. You just need shoes and some running equipment, and you don't have to drive anywhere. You just head right out your door and go for it.
Increases your laundry bill though.
Yeah, it does.
I know you guys probably have a really healthy diet, but maybe when you're starting.
She looks at him and laughs.
My diet was bad in high school.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They had this mid-morning break where they had donuts, so I'd run up there to get the good donuts, right? Before they were gone, and I'd Dr. Pepper every day, and so
we do a lot of
I'm
smoothies.
the worst person to talk about diet.
That's not true. We do a lot of smoothies. We'll do a smoothie. That's our breakfast. I don't really eat whole foods until later in the day, just because I don't know. I do green juice and smoothie, and I do a smoothie for lunch just because I believe it's good for your body. But I'm weird.
Yeah. My motto is
I'm the weird.
If you want to run fast,
He's not
you
like
got to
me.
eat fast food. That's my motto. It makes sense, right?
That makes total sense. Fast and fast. Fast equals fast.
Him and I are not on the same page with diet.
She's helped me with my diet. It's gotten better.
I like it.
Do you guys track anything? Do you guys track water intake? Do your boys right now running competitively? Do they track?
The boys, Cruz eats really healthy. He's more like me, and they have their water bottles, and they want to drink like as many ounces as what they weigh. So that's kind of the rule of thumb. Drink as many ounces as you weigh.
I have to kind of almost beg them sometimes to have donuts with me. I'm like a drug dealer. They don't
Yeah,
they don't want any part of
they're
me.
all healthy, especially.
I go every Sunday I do a donut run to the Lakewood Donut Shop.
Okay.
I do like a 4-mile loop.
We've always
It's like, hey, what do you guys want? And then sometimes I ask, no, nothing. I said, you got to have something. You got to have one. How about a?
You bring the donuts back?
Yeah.
You're carrying around.
They put them
Yeah.
in bags.
They put them in bags for me, and then I got one.
And you run with them?
Yeah.
In backpack? Or?
Oh no, I just run with it. We used to do errands when we ran.
And you're still running
This guy.
And you're still running 7-minute miles with a bag of donuts?
But no sprinkles are left
How
on
in
them.
the heck?
I try.
No, they're good.
Kurt and Leah met running. Today their entire family runs, including the kids, racing competitively in school. They have followed their parents' example and laid the foundation of a commitment to lifelong fitness.
How did the kids get into it?
Definitely didn't force them. In fact, Cruz, our oldest, he's at Lakes High School, he's going to be a senior. He ran cross country at Hutloff in, was it 6th grade? Mm-hmm. 6th grade, and he didn't really like it. So he didn't run again until 8th grade. And then,
Track,
8th grade track. And then when he went to Lakes, I used to coach at Lakes, and he said, I'll run at Lakes, but I don't want you to coach. And I said, okay, sure, fair enough. And so we had that deal that first year, and then since then he's decided it's okay if Dad coaches. So I'm there now. And then Jax would run with me in the morning before school, and that was totally his decision. I think Cruz maybe influenced him a little bit. And now Sonoma, our youngest, she's 11, and she's starting to run now.
And you guys met through running?
Yes.
Up at UW, or
No.
what's the story?
You can tell it.
So he was a coach. He started. How long had you been coaching at Lakes? He was a volunteer.
That was my
coach.
first year.
He was his first year of volunteer coaching in 1997, and my brother was running for Franklin Parish High School. He was a good runner, so I went to one of the meets, and the meet before they'd gone against Lakes, and my mom's like, "There's a really cute coach, and he wasn't wearing a wedding ring." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Mom." And then my neighbor, "I saw a really cute coach there from Lakes who wasn't wearing a wedding ring," and I was like, "All right, thank you." And then I get there, and my mom's like, "See, there he goes." And he went running by. And I was like, "Okay, thanks, Mom." And I was like, whatever. And then some of his teammates after the race came up to me and said, "Hey, we want you to meet our coach." And I was like, okay. And they're like, "He's really fast and dateable." And then I see them dragging him to me. I was like, this is, in my mind, I'm thinking, this is so weird. How it's the same guy that my mom was talking about, the neighbor, and
The world was colluding.
Yeah.
so anyway, that's how we met. And then, what was it? How many years later? He asked me to marry him in that very spot.
Really?
And it was at Fort Steilacoom Park.
Yeah.
So, and we were running together, and he's like, "Look at that sign over there." And I was crabby because we were about ready to do a hard workout.
Yeah.
And I always get nervous for hard workouts. And he knew that, so that's why he chose that day.
No, I was
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah.
And so he had made a sign that said, he like put it in the very spot where, so he asked me to marry him on the sign.
If someone was considering a streak or running every day or even just getting into running, they haven't run before, do you have any programs you would recommend or tips or tricks for someone that's just getting into it?
I just start out slowly, maybe, and don't be afraid to do a combination of running and walking. So maybe you go out and you maybe run, the first few weeks, just keep it simple. Run, maybe see a telephone pole, maybe just try to run to the telephone pole, and then walk to the next telephone pole, and then run to the next telephone, and then try to each week maybe run 2 telephone poles, and then extend it that way. And don't feel bad about the walking, because if you can continue to progress, maybe the next time you go 3 telephone poles, pretty soon you're going to be running a mile.
Yeah.
And then when you can do a mile, you can get to a mile and a quarter, or a mile and a half. But just start slowly. And maybe on the days, maybe you won't, at first you may not be able to run every day. Maybe you have to walk the next day, but try to get something in active. And then try to work your way to where you're just running every day.
I have been running every day now for the last year and a half. While it is nothing in comparison to the amazing story of Kurt and Leah, Just like in life, you have good days and bad days. It's horrible and wonderful. There are times when you just don't want to do it. But setting the mark of running daily places a boundary on the habit. You have to run every single day. Over time, you will see so many benefits, but more than anything, it reinforces that you are capable of much more than you thought. Thank you, Kurt and Leah, for the inspirational story.